So our next article is, what do we want to see out of the EA Iron Man video game?
They're making a video game?
Yeah, they're making a video game. They actually signed a deal with Marvel to produce 3 more video games. A lot of people are speculating that it is a 3-man Iron Man game, so continuation of it.
Well, how does that work out?
I don't know.
Is it going to be multiverse Iron Man?
Did you ever hear of the game Batman Arkham Asylum?
So supposedly from what I've read so far, it's the beginning of Iron Man. So basically like what you're saying is a Arkham verse of Iron Man. And that's what I want to kind of figure out. And from what I saw of some articles, which I couldn't find again, is that it is supposed to be open world. So how do you guys, what do you really want to see compared to what we got in Avengers? And I did play the Iron Man game that came out that was related to the movies, and I had a fucking blast. It wasn't open world or anything. It was very mission.
That game, dude.
It was so fucking fun. I had a outstanding time.
I just really hope that there's a games as a service component to it. Like Anthem.
Okay, you're done. No, you're done. Well, Anthem is a good point, though.
Right.
It's like, so
just that without the games as a service aspect.
What I'm curious about is just like, how far is this going to go? If it's going to go in the beginning, is it going to, are we going to have good customization with our Iron Man suit? Is it going to be how the RPG element's going to work in it? And it's coming from EA, which EA is very, in my eyes, is very mixed, because we got Fallen Order from them, which was phenomenal, but we also have, like Brett, same game of the service type games. So what do you guys truly want to see out of Iron Man's game?
Well,
also, real quick, just for context, I want to mention it because we did talk about this briefly on the podcast in the past, that this is the team developing this is Motive, the creators of Star Wars Squadrons. And in addition to that, the person that's at the helm of it, who's like leading the studio for this development of this game, is the guy that worked on Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, single player game. I mean, just kind of like Spider-Man, literally like Spider-Man.
Just in like New York City, just going around, or
it'd be
go
great
to
to go
different countries and like
other places.
Especially if we're talking about the beginning of Iron Man.
Oh, I see.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just want to be able to swoop in, fly in, and just fucking wreck shop and do all the cool stuff. And I mean, obviously, it's got to be upgrades, and you should be able to customize your suit. And I guess there'd be challenges to complete. I don't know too much of like the world of Tony Stark outside of the MCU.
Well, let's base it off the MCU. So, Big Bad Guy is your friend.
I like
so
Big Bad Guy.
if we go in that route, and just build off of there, how do you want the story to go? Do you want to go in the very beginning? Do you want to like Tony gets trapped inside a cell, and that's where you learn how to customize your suits and stuff like that? Do you want to travel the world and find other things to customize, like resources to find and stuff like that? How do you want to find those resources? How do you want to like make your suits?
How does the comics, like, how do they cover Tony? I'm sure they do it multiple times.
It's basically the same as the MCU. I want to base it off that because everyone's fresh on that. I want to go deep into the comics.
I'm trying to think how would they make that fun.
Well, like
they have to make the suit.
Well, it's Tony, so Tony's making the suit, and that's what I'm saying.
I mean, like, should that be a?
Let's say in the opening of the game, you're captured, and you have shrapnel in your heart, and this is where it shows you how to craft the suit and how to make the suit. So Tony makes his suit that way, and you learn from that, and it progresses going forward.
Okay.
So do you want that to be a reoccurring thing in the game where you're finding resources to make your suit? And when you make the suit, how far do you want to customize it?
Yeah.
And then also, like, Austin made a good point. How's the gameplay going to be? Because like I said, I played the Iron Man movie video game, and it was mostly almost like a third-person shooter, and I had the punchy, or do you want it kind of like Anthem, where you're shooting, running around, punchy the same way? Because I think like Anthem did that perfectly. And I think if we had that in a single player campaign, it would be phenomenal, especially like full on open world. But I'm curious how far the open world is going to go.
Yeah, because I mean, I like the ability to be like the Iron Man's cool in that he can do punchy, but he can also fly around and like shoot laser beams and shit like that. Like as much as like we hated on Avengers, like I feel like they did decently well with him on there.
I love
like,
what they did with Iron Man there.
Like I felt like he felt
I had so much fun with him. Yeah,
you know, like
but you were
run around
hindered.
and do stuff.
Yeah,
there.
but
you were hindered by the height of the map. Yeah,
of the map.
Yeah.
So I definitely want it to be bigger. I think I need something that I kind of want something that like I feel like Spider-Man does such a good job at letting you like use that space as a playground. I think that space is too small for Iron Man, which sucks because that's a big ass like city or whatever. But I feel like it needs to be bigger in order for him to like, because I mean, he moves so fast and he can fly around and shit like that. And I like the flexibility of being able to fly around openly and travel from tops of skyscrapers all the way down to the bottom of the floor and stuff like that, or the ground, and have all that free roaming aspects. I think mobility will be such a key component, like it is in Spider-Man. I want it to be like Spider-Man, where it's like I legitimately do not want to use fast travel because it's so fun to move him around.
Okay, I can see that. And my biggest question: do y'all think this will kick off a Marvel universe with starting off Iron Man? And that's the other two EA games that EA's planning on making.
No.
Like, do you think they're going to try to do a Captain America and a Thor? Or are they just going to stick with the Iron Man?
We've talked about that before.
Yeah.
Where I just don't know if it's because of how long it takes for each game to come out. I think it's going to kind of do them a disservice to have that long. I mean, it'd be awesome. It'd be so cool to have them kind of build like a mini MCU or whatever. But I think it's going to be really challenging with just the length of time it takes to go from game to game.
Yeah.
5-6 years to wait for the next game to come out to see that story continue can be challenging.
I don't think it's impossible, but I just don't think they have that kind of foresight.
So with this game, storyline wise, you want zero Avengers involved, just nothing like Spider-Man does, where it's referenced with little bits here and there, but it's just a full on. It's only Tony and that's it.
I think it'd be cool if they're in there. I think they can be in there. I just don't think they need to be like
a necessity.
I don't want to ever have them be like a playable character or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like, I want it to be focused. I mean, kind of like how they did with they tried to do like in the adventure story, like your focus was on Kamala Khan.
Yeah.
And you played as her, and that was kind of cool that you were in the vicinity of you eventually did play as those different characters, but it was focused around her and her gameplay style, and I think that could be interesting here to have that Iron Man experience and follow his story.
Yeah, like he's trying to figure out the suit. He's trying to build it up and make it better. So like as you upgrade, the suit gets better.
As you progress
better
through the
handling,
story, or like
better speed,
or going to different places to gather resources like antimanium or vibranium or something like that. And the biggest thing about Tony is that he learns from his mistakes. So I think they can implement that very well. But my biggest issue is this character too big for EA to kind of handle? Like,
will they fuck it up?
Like, if this game comes out and it's no shit bad, how's that going to affect their contract for the next two games?
Knowing their freaking
Fallen Order was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it comes down to too, is I think it's not a matter of is EA going to fuck it up? Well, that's a big part of it for sure. But I think it comes down to the studio that's building it. And they have a good studio they gave them the liberty to build a game, Star Wars Squadrons, which had a full story in it. It had a multiplayer aspect and didn't have any microtransactions. Finally. It was just like a solid core game, and it was a lot of fun to play. So I feel good, and I feel good that they're handling it too, because like they built the mechanics so well with Squadrons is a great combat game. Like,
I never played a
combat game and stuff like that. They did a really good job with that. So I'm excited that they're taking the ability of making Iron Man, because I think they'll be able to make the mobility work really well. But yeah, I don't know if it's gonna. I mean, it could go south. It definitely could. I mean, EA's seemingly kind of going in a good-ish new direction. I also heard they just lost their FIFA license. So no, it wasn't that they got fired from it or anything like that. Just that the contract ended, and FIFA was like, "We're gonna do our own thing," basically.
Good.
So EA is like they can't really afford for this to be bad.
Okay.
Because Madden's not the game that it's been in the years past. They don't have FIFA anymore. They're still gonna be doing a soccer game, but it's not gonna have the FIFA name to it. So they need this to succeed. And then Battlefield didn't do so hot. So like, their properties have been struggling. So if this came out and sucked, they're kind of screwed.
Well, they left with Apex and Star Wars.
Yeah.
And
So,
Star Wars hasn't been that great.
Going back to the suit thing, it just remind me because you're playing the older game, is that you would unlock different suits that had different abilities. So I had a stealth suit that I would use all the time, where you can go invisible and sneak up on people. I think if they go that route,
Be nice,
just
like different missions.
and stuff.
Require
But
different-
I think with how Spider-Man did, where you can unlock different customized suits and have mods to it where you can equip whatever you want. So that's what I kind of want to see from this game as well, is where you can mod it out to fit your play style a little bit.
Yeah,
I like
that'd
that.
be cool.
I like
Yeah.
that.
I think they'll definitely have something like that. I mean, there's enough room for there to be a pretty solid customization system for the suit nowadays, and have different pieces and stuff. I bet you what they'll do is it's like you can mod different parts to your suit, but then you can either have basically have like a skin you put on it to like make it look unique and different. But
That'd be great.
definitely don't want to have it to where it's like, oh, I put this piece on and it's green and this piece is yellow because it's
you're
different
just
piece or
all-
whatever.
yeah.
But having the abilities to like have significant changes of like, oh, I want to have lasers instead of
Missiles or
whatever,
rockets
yeah.
or something like that. Yeah.
And be able to transition that based off of the combat scenario you're about to go into, I think would be pretty cool. Answer your question from earlier, Austin. The guy that's on this team, he was the producer of Guardians of the Galaxy, so he wasn't
better.
like a creative lead per se,
God, I
but he
could
like
play that
helped.
game again.
Yeah, you helped
sick.
bring it together.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good game.
That's a good
Yeah.
game.
I kind of want to play Marvel's Avengers again. Are you serious? Dude, I just like the combat so much.
Man.
No, I
was
think
so
about
good.
the fucking levels and the repetitive combat.
But I'm telling you, if they come out with
me
this
out.
game where you're Iron Man just free roaming the city or Afghanistan or somewhere, and you just fly around and just F up stuff, it's going to be fun.
Dude, it'd be great.
I'm excited, and I'm just hoping that EA doesn't mess it up. And that's what I'm concerned about.
Well, the track record isn't the best. But yeah,
Yeah.
Brett makes a good point, but I have no faith that they're just make a good game. I just feel like they're just going to mess it up
faith.
somehow. Like they haven't like these obviously with the Star Wars game, they kind of like pulled it back. Their games and services, blah blah blah, all that bullshit. But what other game has come out that's we've seen that trend?
Let's say that at one more time.
Pull away from games and service outside of the Star Wars game.
Outside of EA,
Yeah, like because back on they're like, oh, story games are
Wars,
dead, and
Star Wars
Jedi
Fallen Order.
outside of that, outside of that.
Oh,
Okay, well, we knew that was going to happen.
I mean, they're still doing any type. It Takes Two.
Proper,
Yeah, well, that's an EA title.
it is.
Yeah,
I mean, they have another indie game that came out that's same thing. It's not
Yeah.
like that, but
I mean, there's still definitely a lot of them that fall in that thing, but I think they've learned their lesson. They've been showing through a series of games now that they're not going all in on that. They're just trying to have those games still that do go all in on that because it makes
that's where
money.
the money's at.
Yeah, I mean, they got the Sims 4. They just transitioned to a free to play game, or they're about to transition to a free to play game. So
Yay!
that's something that will also make them money. Grid Legends didn't have any of that bullshit. That's a racing game, That's pretty good. They have a lot of sports games, It's kind of crazy.
I see that. What are they doing making these games like this? People know people.
Need for Speed is coming out soon. That's gonna have all that stuff in, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure, for sure.
No, I was just curious on your thoughts on that because it's been popping up a lot lately.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
since just recently they signed that deal with Marvel for 3 other games.
It's just crazy that they're just like, yeah, we're just gonna sign 3 games
Yeah.
immediately. Nope, proof of product or
Yeah.
anything. Just
And a lot of people are predicting it's going to be a continuation of this game. But I mean, we haven't seen anything about this game yet, so
yeah.
they're putting a lot of stock into this. And
I
that's
mean,
why I'm curious
yeah.
what y'all want out of it, especially after playing Avengers. I know the
Dude,
biggest thing
that
is
was-
the flight and it's trying to like do stuff. It played well, but I mean, it's nothing compared to the Iron Man video game that I played based off the movie.
Yeah. I mean, Iron Man was my boy.
Yeah.
Marvel's Avengers. I just, dude, I loved everything about them.
What if you had to like it became like a, almost like not a survival game, but like heavy focus on crafting, where you just had to like
I have a feeling it will.
explore all the spaces and find a bunch of just resources,
And stuff.
all kinds of shit to like get to be able to build any of those pieces and stuff like that.
But how in depth do you want it to be? Do you want to be like Gotham Knights, where you collect just random resources, or do you want to like be like, what's another good
You got to go out and harvest them.
harvest shit, like No Man's Sky?
I need my harvest suit.
Yeah, there's a down spacecraft. Let me see what materials I can get out of it. I don't want it to be super in depth, but I think having it to where it's more like broad speaking of like, oh, I'm getting materials that 5 different materials
And then-
that are what you use to do all your shit.
And then once you like craft a suit, can you like mod it out to do whatever you want to favor you on how you play?
That's
Okay,
gotta
I
be there,
can
I think.
see how they could make this into like a whole
Trilogy,
well,
a new
like
Arkham Knight from
Marvel video game universe.
Yeah,
It starts with Tony, just like it did in the MCU, and he just like, we gotta put a team together. Let me go find some of the other cool people around the world, because we have like a existential threat that's coming to kill everybody. So
I just feel like it'll be hard to connect them and have them actually play together well. You know what I mean? Without dealing with Avengers all over again.
well, maybe you could just like use him to set up other games that aren't exactly tied into each other.
I see what you're saying.
But then maybe in the future, it's not going to work out. They only got 3 games. Assuming they renew this contract to get more games and create a whole other line of heroes, maybe they could figure something out with some amazing creative head. Yeah, and like bring
Or I
them all
can
together
play,
for
like,
something.
I can play Iron Man and someone else plays Captain America on 2 different game systems and just, hey, we're playing together, doing the same shit.
That would be, yeah.
Damn right.
I don't know if they could pull that off.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, that's asking a lot from them.
But I am truly excited for it because I really enjoyed Anthem, just gameplay wise, and I enjoyed the old Iron Man video game movie, and I played the crap out of that. So I'm just excited and hope they do it right and not a bull crap.
Don't hold your breath.
I'm not
I
trying
hope so
to.
too. I think it'll be good. I think they'll figure out a way to make it good. I just really don't have any idea of like what kind of game or what kind of story. Like I really want them to take a different route with the story. I don't want to see the same stuff we've already seen. You know what I mean? Like I don't want any MCU redux thing.
I don't think it will be a MCU reduct. I think it's going to stay true to the comics. I would hope,
Yeah. Well,
just
so
like
like-
they did with like Batman and the rest of them.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to be connected anyway to like what the MCU did.
Yeah, I mean, I like what they do with Guardians of the Galaxy, where it's like a totally different story, but all the same characters. It was just their own original story. I kind of hope they kind of go that route with it. I mean, maybe I want Iron Man to not only just fly around a world and like do stuff, but I want to like. I want to be able to buy Twitter. I want to be able to open up a company called SpaceX.
Oh, you want to get into like stocks and stuff? You want to go like GTA 5?
No, I just want to be Elon
Just walks
Musk.
around as Tony and start buying shit. Yeah, I want that.
I just want to be Elon Musk.
You want
man.
to find hookers and take them in a car into the back of an alley.
Oh man, what was that? What was that mode called? The hot coffee or whatever?
I don't
Coffee.
Yeah, I definitely
hot coffee.
curious about that. But no, I want to see mostly like the focus on the mobility, focus on I want a good story. That's what I really want. I think the story will be great.
Who wants those
Story would be
I want those.
awesome.
these days?
Badass cutscenes, big sprawling open world spaces that you can go in,
And fly wherever.
Yeah. It'd be great. So we'll see. See what happens.
All right.
Here's open.
Here's hoping, everybody. Let us know. What do you guys want to see? What game do you want to see Iron Man become? Let us know. Give us your thoughts, your feedback.
I think if they base it off Anthem,
Comments.
they'll do fine gameplay wise.
Yeah, just don't do that same story.
Yeah, don't do that same story.
Games as a service.
Just be like, hey, BioWare, we're gonna steal this.
Still this mechanic you already made.
Log in for your dailies
Just make
today.
a better story. It'll be great.
Yeah.
See, look how great that was.
So good.
Anyway,
All right. Thanks.
Thanks.
I don't know why I say that.
thanks
every
for
time.
stopping.
Thanks for stopping by. Oh,
You need to stop it, Austin.
I do.
Fortnite is a great game.
I love how this is a topic
Austin.
we're about